Heidi ho. I made notes again. I don't know, the last video was a while ago, and once in a while something comes up and I think, ooh, I have an opinion about that. And, you know, this medium that we're using is all about exchanging opinions, isn't it? And the hard thing is when opinions don't match with yours. So it's always fun to see what happens then. People get really mad. And they start shouting, and at the end, everyone still has the same opinion as they had before the shouting begins. So it's kind of a waste of energy. So I wonder, why do we... I mean, everyone's always had different opinions. Since the dawn of human civilization, people have had different opinions. Only the people sitting around your campfire knew about them if you cared enough to talk about the opinions. Today, we hear opinions from people that we've never even heard of before. We even have people defending opinions that aren't even theirs. It's just a general possibility of an opinion is being defended. It becomes very complicated. Anyway, that's not what I'm just going to share some thoughts that I had in the hope that you'll enjoy them. Generally, my videos don't lead to a lot of shouting and discussion and whatever, so that either means that I'm not sharp enough, or that a lot of people who share my opinion watch my videos. That could be true, right? Anyway, Dave Infected Flinch, who has gone off on his tangent with making video games, and his regular programming on his channel has changed proficiently. He said, retro gaming is the retro gaming bubble is bursting and it's all ending. And I wrote a comment on his video that I said, in which I said I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the fact that retro gaming is going to go away. By definition, it's going to be impossible to not have the retro games around. Unless they all are destroyed, it's just going to be there. The thing is that also by definition, we've all seen that the price of retro games is slightly gone up. I got into collecting or buying retro games because they were cheap. I could go to the store and get Game Boy games or NES games for $5, and I really thought that was cool. I can't do that anymore. Right now, in my thrift store, there is a Game Boy game, Kid Dracula, and it's €72, which is insane. And that's just one example. But the price is going up, and why is that? It's a simple economic rule, if you look at it this way, is that also, by definition, again, the supply of retro games isn't going to go up. It's going to go down, if anything, and stay the same at best. So, with prices rising, must mean that demand is rising. So, what I predict is that fewer and fewer people will be able to afford certain retro games. Like if you wanted to collect for the Sega Saturn or for the PC Engine, it's already a league too high for many people, including this guy, because it's too expensive. So it's going to be an elitist thing. If you want to collect like the actual thing, the actual game, I tried to buy a disc, like a Commodore 64 disc with Uridium and a Paradroid on it, like a Hewson Consultants double value pack. And I thought the first bid on eBay was like £4, and I thought I'd put in a sneaky bid using eSnipe for 10, no 17, and I really thought I'd get it. It ended up going for £36. It's an amount that I'm not willing to pay for, not even for an original Commodore 64 game. So it's going to be an elitist thing if you want the real thing. If you want to emulate, that's fine. If you there's loads of new titles, like it's a nice bridge. HUEY Consultants, I think his like Andrew's son, I think he's called Rob. He is managing HUEY Games, and HUEY Games are making a follow-up to Iridium called Hyper Sentinel. So, if retro gaming isn't going to go away, but the actual physical stuff is going to be out of reach for many people. If you look far into the future, it's going to be an elitist thing for people with a load of money to spend. And for the rest of us, we can try and emulate, but it's not going to go away. You can't unmake Pac-Man. It's going to be there, so that there's no retro bubble bursting or anything. I mean, retro gaming hasn't gone away at all since the start. It's been on the lowdown in the West, but in Japan it never went away. So it's not going to go away. It's just like music. Music isn't going to go away either. So let's get back to this Hyper Sentinel. It's a Kickstarter project. It's not been released yet, but you can download a full working demo. Just go to the website. I'll try and put a link. I couldn't. Just following the regular site, I couldn't. I got to a page where there was like a text saying, "Oh, download the demo," but I couldn't really download it. But I sent an email and they sent me a link, and then it's just a playable demo, just a Windows game. And it's just Iridium, but Jeff Minterized, in the sense that it's got a lot of colorful explosions and stuff, but it plays the same. It was a very nice experience. And then I got a Windows update, and my machine, my computer restarted, and then it fell to the same problem that many Windows games have these days, and that's controller confusion. I couldn't play the game with my Xbox 360 controller anymore. I have it wired with a USB cable, and I know what causes that, because I've seen that so many times before. You buy a Steam game, and you start it up, and your character is spinning wildly, or something else weird is happening. So I sent them an email saying, your game is suffering from the same controller confusion that many other games are suffering from. The base of the problem is, and if you're an indie developer, or if you're any kind of game developer, listen to this. I saw an article written by someone from Microsoft. Like, they changed some things over the course of time, but basically it's a direct input device that you're talking about, and the tool, you're probably using a tool to develop your game, and you request a list of controllers, and you probably just pick the first one, assuming that is an Xbox controller, or assuming that is the controller the user wants to use for this game. Don't do that, right? Don't try and auto-select a controller. Do what Vice does. Just have an options list listing all the controllers that you've been able to find, like request from your Unity tool or whatever you're using. Request all the controllers, have the user select the controller. This is the one I want. And like in Submerged, which is a game on Steam, in Submerged, have a little radio button says ignore all other inputs. Right? Because I have an Xbox 360 controller. I have a steering wheel connected. I have a head tracker connected, and a regular mouse and keyboard. Chances are that people are going to have a load of controllers connected to their PCs, and you're not going to be able to figure out or guess which is the right one. So have a selection possibility. So I mailed this to the HUEY guys, and they were very kind. They said, "Oh, thank you for your feedback, and we'll make sure that we do our best," and blah blah blah. So we'll have to see if they actually do that, because their advice was, "Oh, install a new driver." I don't have to install an Xbox 360 driver on a Windows machine. It just knows it's a 360 driver. So, indie developers, take note. Let the user choose the controller, right? And I don't know why that is so hard. Why so many games suffer from this problem when I can obviously see games that do it right, like Submerged. It does it right. Try install Street Fighter. No, I have to dive under my desk and pull out all the other controllers until I'm done, and I have to plug them all in again. It's bullshit, right? Just to have a simple list. Oh, right. So, what I did is I sold a bunch of PS2 titles again. I sold 33 titles, and I got 160 or so euros for that. And I don't know if I made any money or lost any money, and I don't really care. There were games in there. I sold my Final Fantasies. I sold my Kia Dark Lineage. I sold my Star Ocean game that I played once, but it's another one of those RPGs. And the thing is, I love hearing about RPGs. I love people talking about the story and how the game looks and the battle system and all that. But I put it in and I see the story, but I just don't go back. And so I just sold. This is like the second time that I've perused my PS2 collection and have thought, these games, why do I have them anyway? So I bought most of them from the thrift store because they were there, and I thought they were mildly interesting. I sold all my Jack and Daxter games and all my because I don't like 3D platformers. So there's a few I've kept the games that I really thought I wanted to keep, like the Devil May Cry series, right? Hack and slash, and like Res and like R-Type, the shooters, and by God, I really thought I had sold Xenosaga. One of those games that I picked up for €2 somewhere on a flea market. I remember exactly where it was. And I done all the scanning and all the the asking for the quote and sending and making the box and everything, and I have the box all packed and stamped and taped up, and fuck, I look on my shelf and the Xenosaga game is still there. Now, how could I be so stupid? Again, why? It's still here. I wanted to sell it, but I didn't. It's still here. It'll go out on the next round, maybe. So with that. And now I'm going to get to the... with that, I bought some games that I have on my wish list. And that I have had on my wish list for some time. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. This one is new and sealed, and it's a Season Pass edition. Please, someone explain to me this season thinking. Season thinking, so that means that all the DLC... that is, the disc is loose in this thing. All the DLC that is part of Sniper 3, so we see Sniper 3 as a season, and everything is free? Is that how it works? I know that Elite does it that way, like we're in Season 2 now, and the next season I'll have to buy. It's the same game, but new content, whatever. But I got this at sort of a discount. The good thing is that no cash out, right? And whether or not I've actually made money or lost money on the whole deal, I don't know. But it's a matter of years that I've spent buying PS2 games now. I didn't sell them to individuals. I shipped them to Netgame, and they give me 50 cents for one game and 20 bucks for the next. And you know, it evens out. I got more money back than I thought I would. I bought the Megaman, also a loose disc in the case. You hear that? Megaman Legacy Collection 2 for the PS4. Also new. This is $30. This is quite a recent release. I have the number 1 that came with nice stickers and stuff. I don't know if that's in here. I'm not gonna open this now, but I'll do that perhaps in another video, and perhaps not. And this game, this Rise of the Tomb Raider, this isn't new. This is used. Of course, I'm gonna go for the deals. This wasn't. This was $30 as well. This game keeps its price. It's always expensive, and I'm still playing the other one. Like, oh no, I bought a download copy of that, the definitive edition. I like that, and I've seen gameplays of this, and I like this too. So these games, together with Ghost Recon Wildlands, were on my wish list. So I bought these games. Now, doing it this way, I'm forced to buy them off Netgame, and the Ghost Recon Wildlands, the only game they have at this moment is a $60 new one, and I don't want to do that. So sticking with the pickups, I went to the thrift store the other day, and there were like 3 or 4 Xboxes, original Xboxes. They were in bad condition. I bought another Duke controller because for $3, I love those Duke controllers. They're really big. That's the whole reason. And because I always go to the electronics section first. If I find a bunch of controllers, there was a PSP there as well. Find a bunch of consoles and controllers. I think, okay, someone's brought their whole collection in, and lo and behold, there were original Xbox games. So I got also Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Now I recently got this game for the PS3. I saw Dean, our good friend Dean Thompson, who had also created a collection of Ghost Recon games. He had a few more, but this is on the original Xbox. So I'm pretty happy that I have Advanced Warfighter now as well. And then I was there, and I thought, shit, there are more games, and I was in the mood for buying some stuff, and I don't like this game at all, but it's the Grand Theft Auto double pack. It has Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City in it, and I thought this may be good for selling. Yeah, so I didn't buy this to play it. I bought this because it was shiny. See? And I thought that must make me some money. I paid $3.50 for this. And then this, please, someone in the comments explain this to me. I've been hearing people talk about Xbox Live Arcade. Retro games on the Xbox 360. Mark has a ruck of them. And I keep thinking, oh, I want that. So I go on my 360. I go on what I think is the store, like Browse Games. I think that's what it's called. And I type in Xbox Live or Live Arcade or whatever. And I can never find it. I cannot find Xbox Live Arcade. Is it something I buy? Is it a term that is used for stuff? What is Xbox Live Arcade? I don't know. So I see this in the store, $2.50. I think, hey, oh, this is it. Xbox Live Arcade compilation disc. Now, this, of course, I got hooped on this because this is like a pack-in disc for, and it has Pac-Man Championship Edition on it, and and one or two other games, and the rest is just. They shouldn't have sold this as a game because it's not. I thought, oh, I'm going to get a piece of software that's going to list all the old style arcade games and I can buy them or select them or whatever. Someone please explain to me how this works. Please tell me exactly what to look for. Tell me, does Xbox Live Arcade still exist? Do I need some sort of subscription? How do I play those retro games on the Xbox 360? Because I just can't figure it out. I'm just too old. Maybe. I don't know. On the other hand, if it has to be so damn complicated to find it, then maybe I shouldn't bother. But any input would be mildly appreciated. And that brings me to my other pickup. I've been very enthusiastic about Wipeout. I've shown this before. Wipeout Omega Collection. This is basically all the other Wipeout Fury and Wipeout 2048. All the previous games. The studio that made these games no longer exists. So so I was thinking, oh, this is like one of the last versions, and I know the Wipeout series, and I know the F-Zero series. I think this is better. Nintendo fanboys tend to think the F-Zero game is better. It's definitely older, and it has some interesting tracks, but the earlier F-Zero games are basically just Mario Kart, but not as good. And what was I don't even know. But I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. Never have been. Even though I have many of their consoles, I've been cured of anything Nintendo, man. I really don't care anymore. So I'm a Wipeout fan. I'm a Sony fan, right? For some reason, I also have many, if not all, of Sony's consoles. So I bought this because I thought it was cool. Wipeout, because this has online play. I can one of the very few games on my PS4 that I play online. You can enter a race. There's always people on, and they kick your ass, and you have some fun. You always level up, and you finish last, and sometimes you finish like 5th or 4th, and it's nice. I loved it. I really, really liked it, and it gave me a good reason to spend the money on PlayStation Plus. Well, PlayStation Plus no more. When I started, how do I explain this? When I pay for a subscription, I'd rather pay it per month or per period than pay it for a whole year. I know the whole year is cheaper, but I only notice cash out, right? I have an attention span that lasts a day or two at best, so I only look at the day when I have to spend the cash, and I'm thinking, wow, 100 whatever euros on a subscription. No, I'll do it per quarter. And it was 15 euros per quarter when I started. Now I got an email from Sony saying, hey, we're going to increase the price of the PlayStation Plus subscription. No reason why. No, you're getting this extra, you're getting that. They went from $20 per quarter to $25 per quarter. Now, you can work out the percentage. That's only someone in the UK said, oh, it's only 83p per month more. What are you talking about? No, I know. I started at 15 and now I'm at 25. That's a whole lot more, and I'm getting nothing extra. You get discounts on games, which I've used once or twice, really not many times. You get online saves. I use that all the time, although I save to the network, but I've never had to use it to get it back, so not very useful. You get some sort of free something family game, which looks absolutely like I'm never going to use that. And you get online gaming, which I don't do a lot. I do it for Diablo, and I do it, I was going to do it for Wipeout. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to pay $25 a quarter. It's too much. Especially because I started at 15 and I got exactly the same thing. And now I'm paying $25 with no explanation. I'd say that, the more people, use a service, the lower the price would be, or the longer you are a member, the lower it would become. But no, no such thing. So I quickly made a decision that I'm not going to do this anymore. If you're used to seeing my name on the PlayStation Network with a little yellow plus on it, forget it. It's going to go away after August because I'm not doing it. The day that Sony comes up with a subscription for online gaming only and forget all the free games, I'll do that if it's a reasonable price. But this silent price increase without any explanation, just see how far we can push it. You know, do a 5 more, do 5 more, do 5 more, and then you get people saying, "Oh, it's only 83p a month more." No, idiot. You're not getting anything. If you know what? If you calculated it per hour, it would be even less. You could divide 83 by 24, you'd have a price by hour, and it'd be even lower. I'll do it. I'll do the math for you. 83 per month. Let's calculate it per week. It's only 20p per week. Shit, by 7. It's only 2p per day. 3 actually. Divide that by 24. Oh no, it's only 0.12p per hour. That's nothing. It becomes less and less. Idiot. That's not how you think. At least it's not how I think. So I've stopped the service, and Sony, thank you for alienating me. Just like Nintendo. Maybe you thought, just like Nintendo, all these people wanting our mini NES because, hey, we don't know if it'll be successful. Will we? So let's make 25 of them, seeing how it goes. Thanks a lot. I'm off it, right? I don't want no Nintendo shit anymore. Let's make the Switch. Let's make some cool marketing campaign. Send it all across the world. Make a nice video. Get everyone excited, and then don't ship it. Yay! No, sorry, no. It's unavailable at this time. They'll love us for it. No, idiots! I'm not gonna buy it ever. So, so that's the thing. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, that's the last thing that I'm going to end on that, I think. Oh, no, there's 2 things. I've been an idiot because I never liked Uridium on the Commodore 64. Now, reading that book by the Houston fella who I thought, Jesus, what a dickhead. But, watch my previous video on that. As I was reading the book, I made a little list of all the games that I thought might be interesting. And damn, they're all good games. Cybernoid is a great game. What's that other thing? I don't even... I played them all, ripped copies, of course, because you can't find a Paradroid disc anywhere. Although I did, but not Uridium. And I played all those games, and Uridium, I always thought it's too fast. I was used to, sending my ship off in one direction, and that juggernaut ship, that it moves under you so fast. I thought, it's too fast. It's unplayable. But I didn't know how to play the game, so I sort of learned to play the game a little bit better. And I what an idiot I've been, because that's a good game. And all those other games, even the one with the little circle, I don't know what it's called right now. I had a note. Oh, here it is. Nebulous? Is it Nebulous? I think it's Nebulous. I played Exelon. Maybe that was it. I don't know. Cybernoid 1 and 2. And then I also played Stormlord, but what a shit game that was. Jesus. That was not my kind of game. But I've been a fool. Because there's some games that I should have just thought a little bit longer about, and I really liked Uridium. So that's the thing. Hyper Sentinel, I'm going to name it again. look for Hyper Sentinel. It's a Kickstarter. It's not out yet, but you can sort of keep an eye on it because it's really good. And then I bought No Man's Sky. I already had it, but I bought it on Steam because it was on sale, only $24. I'm playing it on PC, and boy, is it a lot more comfortable playing on PC than it is on PlayStation 4 with a controller. The visual quality is better, the field of view is better, the controls are a lot better, and don't forget, No Man's Sky is on update 1.3 something. Which is really, really interesting. They're adding stuff, and they're adding stuff, and they're adding stuff, and it's really quiet, but No Man's Sky has become a really, really deep game. Not as deep as Elite, perhaps, but there's a lot more story. There's now some quests, I believe. There is some joint exploration that you can do. A lot has changed, for the better. So having it on my PC makes that I play it a little bit more easily than on the PlayStation 4. I'm a PC gamer, I suppose. So that's it. There was some space news, but the only thing I'm going to mention is that the Chinese... There's two things I'm going to mention. The Chinese have managed to get a quantum particle. You know how they... have tried to do transportation, like immediate transportation of data. It's a bit iffy, but it operates on the quantum theory that a particle can be in two places at the same time. The thing is that you have two particles that are interlinked, and anything you do to this one automatically does as well. So if you give this a kick, the other one will kick as well. And so far, they've been able to do that on Earth a little, on a small distance. And it's basically the same as transporting information you put in here to here, like immediately. We don't know how these two particles are keeping track of each other, but they do. And the Chinese have been able to put this guy in a space station. So now we have that's exciting. We can sort of send data from Earth to a space station, and it'll be there immediately. Now, if they can even make that distance even greater, I mean, radio messages take minutes to get to the moon, right? This would make it immediate. So that is a big, big thing. Other thing is that some European astronomers are going to test again Einstein's general theory of relativity by checking out a star which is orbiting the supermassive black hole that is at the center of our galaxy. We've done a load of tests, but nothing with the amount of mass that is involved with the super black hole at the center of our galaxy. And there's a couple of stars that are circling that center, and they're going to see, because a really large body of mass will warp space. Like a meter won't be a meter. A meter will be this, or a meter will be that somewhere else, right? That's what the mass is going to do. And they're going to test that by following the trajectory of this star. So that's exciting. I believe Czech and German. I don't really remember astronomers going to do that. And then Juno, but that was back in July already. Juno went closer to Jupiter than we've ever been. It's 3,500 kilometers that it went there, and it took pictures of the great big storm there. The exciting thing is that we've never been so close to Jupiter. So, I think I did pretty well, lengthwise. 25 minutes or something? I don't know. I hope you had a good time, and I know I did, and I'm going to see you the next time, and I'm going to say goodbye. Bye-bye.